Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm Linda Hiemer, and this is The Ladder to Success, A Student's Perspective. It's a webinar series that we offer monthly, and today we're showcasing a student and getting a student's perspective. So I hope you enjoy your time, and we thank you for joining us. I serve as the Senior Director of Graduate Law Programs for Seattle University School of Law. And in that capacity, I help all of our graduate students and masters, both online and on ground in our campus programs. You can email me anytime at lawgraduateonline@seattleu.edu, or you can call my office directly at 206-398-4268. If I do not receive the phone call, that voice message will be sent to my email and I will get back to you promptly. But you didn't come to hear me talk today. I wanted to introduce you instead to our guest. Cynthia Scott is a member of our community as a student in the first cohort for this fully online Master's in Legal Studies program. She joined our school as a student and valued member fall of 2019. And Cynthia serves as a senior vice president, internal audit manager with a bank in the greater Seattle area. As you can see, it's hard to put someone's life experience on a PowerPoint slide, but before pursuing her graduate degree, Cynthia earned a bachelor's in English and has over 30 years experience in a variety of capacities with financial institutions, progressive responsibilities, both in compliance and risk. And in her spare time, when she's not working and attending this graduate program, she's a devoted volunteer and an advocate for abused and neglected children. So Cynthia, welcome, and would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Linda, this is an honor to be here, and I'm excited for this opportunity to discuss this program. I hope everybody has a lot of questions because I'm excited to let you know what it's like.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about the agenda. Today, we're going to hear from Cynthia about her goals, the choices of this program, her student experience so far, any tips she'd like to share, and her concluding thoughts. And then I can talk briefly about any next steps, such as application deadlines and our spring start in January. We will have a Q&A. If at any time you do have a question, please send it through the Q&A icon or the chat box. I may not be able to get to it in real time, but we will hold it at the end. So let's get started. Cynthia, would you like to talk about your goals?
Absolutely. So I consider myself a jack of all trades, a master of none. And I have, as Linda had mentioned, I've worked in a variety of financial institutions and a variety of roles. And it gave me a really broad background, but it didn't give me a concentration to really to focus on. And I found myself ending up in compliance risk management about 10 years ago. And my career kind of stalled out. And I realized at that time, what do I need? And like Anne said, one of my cohorts, I needed street cred. And this was a great program to get that street cred. So one of my first goals is, get my graduate degree. You can go ahead and turn that on. Go further. Thanks. So I needed that to advance my career, and little did I know that it happened. It already happened. I had in my third term, I applied for and I received. I was hired as the SVP, internal audit manager for a local bank in the Seattle area, and so immediately this program has already paid for itself for me. I mean, seriously, I could not have been happier with my career advancement at this time. I report up to the board of directors. You can't get much higher than that. So, and while I was doing this degree, starting out in the fall of 2019, Professor DeGarmo was teaching the legal writing class, And that is when I really found my passion for law. So much so that she actually encouraged me to go back to go to law school and get my JD. And I'm in talks with Linda about that right now. So this is, you'll find your passion too in this program. Go ahead. Is it going to click forward?
Yeah. Cynthia, I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Oh.
Rookie mistake.
Okay.
If I could just follow up with advancing your career and the graduate credentials, with the job you applied for just a few months ago and earned, would you have applied for that or been eligible for it if you had not been enrolled in this program?
No, I would not have. One of the things that like the C-suite, I went through 5 different levels of interviews, including the board of directors. And they all talked about this master's program that I was in, and I would not have received, convinced I would not have received this position without me being in this program, because I did not have all of the skills and the technical expertise for this position. I had a lot of, like I said before, I was a jack of all trades, but I didn't exactly have internal audit manager experience. But because I was in this program, because I was had the initiative to do this, they hired me and they gave me a chance. And so now I'm in week 11 of my dream job.
That's great. And again, it does help fulfill a passion for the law without investing in law school, at least not at this stage in your career.
Exactly. So it's been fabulous. So this program, since it's all online, and we only have a few modules where you have to actually attend a live class, it gives me the time to go to work. I work full time. Actually, I work more than full time, as everyone probably already does. I also do volunteer work, like Linda had mentioned. I am a guardian ad litem, a volunteer guardian ad litem. We are the court-appointed advocates, and I work in Pierce County, and we volunteer and support and advocate for abused and neglected children. And I currently have 5 children that I advocate for, and it takes a lot of time because they're spread out everywhere and you have to go see them. So I really needed an online program that would allow me to work full time, do my volunteer work, which I've done for over a decade, and then study. So you got to study in.
And may I inquire, in your volunteer work, do you find that what you've learned in the law has helped you as a guardian ad litem also in this program?
Absolutely, it has. Because we actually go to court and we present reports to the court. It's helped me in my writing skills on my court reports. It helps me address the judge and address all the attorneys. And I know because of the law that I've learned, I know why they're doing what they're doing now. So that really gives me the why behind what I'm doing in my volunteer work, not to mention, of course, the why behind all the regulatory requirements and laws that I work with on a daily basis in my work.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anything else you'd like to share on this in as far as goals? Or would you like to move on?
Let's go ahead and move on. So why Seattle U? Okay, well, that is a great question. So I looked up Seattle U after I found their post on LinkedIn. I had been looking for about a year or so for a graduate school, an online graduate school. And I had actually talked to another one, but really didn't fit my goals. So I was working at my prior job at the time, and my manager there actually is a graduate of the Seattle U's JD program. And so when I found this, I went to Terry and said, hey, what do you think about this program? And I said, I think it's going to be great for what I do. I said, it fits in perfect. And she looked at it, she read it, and she said, if this program had been available when I was earning my JD, I would have taken this program instead. I mean, she's like, go for it, do it. So I did.
Wonderful. And I think maybe Terry regrets that because she lost you as a colleague. I hope you stay in touch.
Oh, we talk all the time. It's great. No, we're good friends too, so that's
Great.
awesome.
Great.
But the other reason for Seattle U, I also did, like I said, I did some research, and in September of this year, in September of this year, Seattle University is ranked in the top 16% of the universities nationally, and they place 121 out of 797 institutions in the Wall Street Journal. Not only does that underscore why I chose Seattle University, but when I did the research a year ago, I found the same sort of information, and of course my manager went to Seattle U and she loved it and couldn't say enough good things about it.
Wonderful. And the flexibility, I know you talked about that in the previous slide too.
Yes, the flexibility was really important for me. And that is what Seattle U's online program offers, is the flexibility to study on your time. And you get out of it what you put into it.
Great. I did get a question I'd like to field. Crystal has asked actually two questions. First, she asked, excuse me, do we provide a mentor?
Well, I think that the professors are kind of they act as mentors. Professor DeGarmo was mine, to be quite frank. She was absolutely fabulous. She told, like I said, she told me I should go to law school, and I mean, how cool is that, right? They all are all professors, bar none, have been so they ask everyone all the time, what more can we do for you? What can we help you with? So in a mentor, so that would be like the mentor you would have here. Not to mention each one of your people in your cohort, get to know them. They're your mentors as well. I love C's, and I love Anne and Neely and Marion. They all bring a lot of stuff to the table.
And they're fellow students, right?
Yeah, so my fellow students. Yeah. Sorry if I shouldn't have named them, but.
No, that's all right. But again, we also know our professors by first name. And I also serve as the senior director. I am the academic advisor for all of our students. And if you're looking for a subject matter expert or a practitioner to help guide you, all of our professors, as Cynthia said, fellow students, as well as the broader alumni networking. We have a very strong network of support. So we don't officially assign you a mentor, but I do serve as the academic advisor. And as Cynthia has pointed out, all of the students and the professors our virtual doors are always open for each other. A second part of that question was affordability, especially for people who may not have the income at the time. We do have frequent webinars about how to plan and pay. We do not offer full scholarships, but merit scholarships are available on some basis based on need and merit. And also we do have financial services team that can assist you with your financial aid questions, whether it's federal loans or unsubsidized loans and other avenues. And as Cynthia said, we hope that there is a return on your investment over time. But I think, Cynthia, you've experienced the challenge of paying for school, but now you're reaping the rewards, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Like I said previously, my new job is already paid for itself with the increase in the income.
Right.
So it was so much worth the investment.
Yeah.
And I know that Thies and Anne and Neely can all say the same thing, because they either receive promotions or they're like Neely started her own business during this class, and she's being very successful. So it's helping her in her new business. So this program is immediately helpful to everything in your career immediately.
Great. And another question came in from someone in Canada. We do have students who reside in Canada, and
Awesome.
this program is open internationally. So everyone would be welcome. And we have Cynthia, we got a good question. Someone said, is there an alumni group specifically for master's students? And I will answer the first part. We have been offering campus master's programs since 2015. And this online program is new. But no, our master's students have always been part of the broader alumni and never distinguished as master's only or Juris Doctorate. We consider all of our students law students, and all of the alumni are treated equally. But that doesn't mean that we couldn't. Cynthia, that's a great idea, even for your cohort, for us to really think about having a network group, both in school, during studies and alumni afterwards. So that's a great question and something we could always explore.
Yeah, it's a great idea, because I would love to stay in touch with not only my cohort but the cohort behind me as well. Since we've had classes together, and I think all of us, all the cohorts, could help each other on a go forward basis. I mean, absolutely, awesome idea.
So we'll talk a little bit about your experience in the classroom.
Yes, I will, absolutely. This is like the best part, right? So if you decide to apply for and get accepted and do this program, like I said, not only will you immediately have the benefits of the knowledge and be able to apply what you're learning, but I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background on what it is to actually be in an online program, since I'm doing it right now. So in each module, there's 14 modules in each term, and each term is a semester. And the professors will give you a certain amount of time that they estimate that will take you to do each module. How long it will take you to do the reading, how long it will take you to listen to the lectures, how long it will take you to do the assignments and the quizzes and all that. If you follow those within those hourly parameters, you'll pass. And but you, like I said, you get out of it what you put into it. So my experience is do the research. Even like when we have our discussion boards, it kind of sounds like in the beginning that it just it's just your opinion, your thoughts, but it really isn't. Treat it like a new assignment, because it really is. Go to the, use Westlaw, use Google. I love Google Scholar, love it. And do your citations, and they'll teach you how to do it correctly, trust me. And you put back up your opinions with facts, and you'll pass. It'll be fine. And see, and then with the professors, like I said, I can't say enough good thing about professors here. Professor DeGarmo was in my legal writing. She was my favorite. Followed closely by Professor DeMarino. He really knows his way around the classroom, and every one of them will help you and answer any question you have regarding. And then you're going to build these relationships with your colleagues. I know that a couple of our colleagues I've become really close, and you become close when you work on these group projects together. And at first I was a little sketchy about group projects, but to be quite frank, I have learned a lot from my cohorts. And so now I'm a fan of group projects. So
that is sometimes, excuse me, Cynthia, sometimes the biggest complaint from online students across programs is, oh, group work. But part of that is, as you said, it's a learning experience. And in real life, we have to work in teams across time zones, different skill sets. Some people pony up, some people don't. And it's learning the competencies, and some of those soft skills are the most critical to learn.
And that's exactly why the professors do that, I found out, because they actually said that. But I had one project where it was my internal audit class, for example. I had two cohorts that were working with me on a project, and one of them came up with this fabulous chart. It was like, it blew my hair back. It was so great, and we got an A. So because of her. So yeah, you really do learn a lot.
Well, and Cynthia, you said an interesting thing, and you're very humble. You're telling students, if you do take the time, you will pass. I can say we've never had a student flunk out from grades. What I find is most graduate students do know what they're investing in, and they on average, I hear both in surveys that we do for the students as well as informal conversations, students spend anywhere from 8 hours a week to up to 20 to 25. It depends on what your competencies are in a particular course, and how much you want to learn. And Cynthia, I know you are the one of the top students, and you do spend a lot more time. But again, it's part of the value and the passion that you share, isn't it?
It is, like I kept saying, you get out what you put into it, and there's more, and the professors actually encourage you to do the research, to look for more, because they will stretch you. And that is probably the best thing about this program is um, they stretch you intellectually. They encourage you to think outside the box. And I happen to know that, Ann had mentioned in her previous webinar that thinking, that change in her attitude, it got her promotion in the second term. That's what this program does. It stretches you as a human being and as a lifelong learner.
And if I may, we had a question come in after reflection. One of the attendees asked, now that you're talking about maybe attending law school, do you regret enrolling in this program first and not in law school?
Absolutely not. No, this program, I can't say enough good things about it, because like I said before, I used it from day one. And when I was in Foundations of Law class, and I was learning all about the basics of law, it kind of takes you back to high school history 101 sometimes. But I'm telling you, I needed that refresher, and everything I've learned. No, I don't regret this at all. This is perfect, and this is actually going to be the basis for me getting a JD, because you can't take this experience away from what I can apply to in my JD program.
Well, I can also say that we have current students enrolled in this master's program that have already earned a Juris Doctorate as a lawyer. They were practicing law, realized that they wanted to move maybe into government agency work or into corporate world. And what they were hearing was, oh, we don't need general counsel. And they said, no, I don't want to be general counsel. I'm interested in compliance. I'm interested in risk management. And they realized there was a gap in their learning from law school. And so we do have members of this program who already had earned their law degree.
Yes, we have a couple of them that I know of, and we also have another PhD who's professor back east, and she said that she needed some experience to teach her students, so that's why she's taking this course.
Yeah, we do have people who have already earned doctors of education. We even have a doctor of pharmaceuticals who works as a clinical researcher. So we do have people already with advanced degrees and multiple graduate degrees, MBA, Master of Science. So we found value in learning about seeing solving problems, framing issues through the lens of the law.
Exactly. Yeah. So this program is applicable to everything that you can apply it to.
But unfortunately, if any student does earn a master's, either this master's or any master's degree, the American Bar Association does not allow any credits to transfer towards a Juris Doctorate at this time. So these credits will be independent. And when you do attend law school, Cynthia, you will be earning all those credits, but I'm sure you will be having a great experience. And James also asks if we have a cybersecurity risk. One of our tracks, James, a concentration you can have in this program is data and privacy, which focuses on cybersecurity. And almost every course that we have does emphasize the tech side, the reg tech, and the foundational knowledge of privacy, and the highest risks being cybersecurity. And Professor Jerry Vergerant, who teaches the risk management course, spent 20 years in cybersecurity and IT, before he attended Seattle University Law School Nights, and he also serves as the Director of Cybersecurity and Privacy for Seattle University. So we do have experts in that area and realize the critical need for that knowledge, regardless of any industry or concentration you have. And you don't have to be a tech geek, right, Cynthia?
Yes, because I am not. And we actually, one of our cohorts is in cybersecurity, and she has found this program valuable as well.
Great. Okay, well, you've already started to share some of this, but.
Okay. Yes, so yeah, I did want to share some study tips because it is different. You know, you're online, you're on your own. You do have due dates for all your discussions, you have due dates for your quizzes and your assignments and all that. So you really need to plan your week and your weekend because I mean, face it, you're going to be studying on the weekend. So what I found to be most helpful is actually start the Sunday before on that module. Get some of that reading done because there's a lot of reading and it's pretty intensive, and it really depends on how fast you read. You know yourself, right? So if it says that you have 5 hours of reading and you read fast, you might get it done in 3. But if you like to slowly digest your reading, then it's going to take 5 hours. And so, plan your week ahead of time for that, especially since, like in the discussions, you need to have the reading done so that you can actually answer the discussion questions, and then also have some time to do the research for those discussions. And those discussions are usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So you don't really, if you don't start your studying until Monday, you're only giving yourself Monday night and Tuesday nights to really answer all the discussion questions on Wednesday. So that was my first issue that I found, and that's the first tip I want to give everybody is start early, and make sure that you do all the reading, and then also reread it. And I find myself doing a lot of extra research just because I like to do it, number one, because I want to know the why behind everything, and that's how I personally learn. So when I do all the reading, then I go out and find what that means. And I find myself looking at a lot of legal terms. So I got the Black's Law Dictionary, which is very helpful. But I also do, Google is your friend. Let me tell you right now, I love Google. And there are times when I'll get an assignment from a professor and I'm like, I'll read it 3-4 times. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. So I'll Google it, and sure enough, here it pops up in Google and it explains what I needed to know. Not to say that you can't talk to your professor, but
Google is not getting compensated. But yeah, I would encourage you. No, Cynthia.
It gives you an idea of what they're looking for.
And I wouldn't, but I think you could be comfortable reaching out to your professors and saying, I don't really understand this, and I Googled it. Is this what you mean? And I think they'd be. I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell them your advice. But you're right. Search engines are your friend, because what are you learning here? You have enough digital literacy and knowledge to know if the source on Google is reliable, and there are a lot of reliable sources.
Right, and really what I use the Google search for, Linda, is just get a clue to go in the right direction. It's not that I'm using what they say. It's just a clue to go, oh, okay, so that's what they're probably talking about. And then I go back and reread it, and then I can clue in more on what they are actually meaning. So,
I use it too.
If all else fails, I probably call the professor. But so I do that a lot. But like I said before, invest the time, it does pay off, and you will learn a lot. And I'm in my 4th term. I've got 2 more terms to go. And every term that comes, a new term, I'm excited. I can't wait to learn what else is going to be coming for me, because I will learn and use it in my work. The organizational investigations last term, I'm an internal audit manager now. That's what I do. And now I know how to do it. I haven't how to do it yet, but so anyway, Randy Pausch in his last lecture said, brick walls are there for a reason. And lack of knowledge was my brick wall. And so if it is your brick wall too, build your ladder and you scale that brick wall. Um, apply for the program, see where it gets you, and you won't regret it, I promise. You're on mute.
Sorry, the dog's been barking. We're all remote working. Yeah, my Jack Russell legal assistant. So James asked if the class discussions are based on the Socratic method. And I can explain that. Yes and no. Yes, in that we model traditional law school discourse, but actually we have evolved from the Socratic method in online to focus on best practices that encourage more team discussion and facilitation. Actually, in one of the courses, we have student-led discussions, which is not Socratic, but it models how people are learning. And we know from cognitive and neuroscience, which we build into these programs, frequent assessment, self-assessment, self-reflection, things that maybe Socrates didn't emphasize, are actually better ways of learning and preparing people for this type of career. But we're founded on the tradition of Socratic method, being a law school, and our faculty are steeped in that. But we also go beyond it, leveraging cognitive learning skills and the advancement in being able to use technology to learn. And we also, Cynthia, have you had a positive experience with our digital library and our research, our resources?
I have, and it's really, really easy to use. Canvas is where we all work, and it's extremely easy to use. As long as you don't have the power outages like I had one time.
Yeah.
But it was very easy to use, and you should, upload your assignments, and life is good. And the library is very easy to use as well, and you'll get access to legal databases like Westlaw and Bloomberg, and those are awesome. I love those.
Great. And I know the way we've designed this program is I believe all of our students are working professionals. And we know just across globally in online graduate programs, statistics are that 70% of online graduate students work full-time. 41% in the most recent study are also parents, or at least have the responsibility as caregivers in some capacity. But one student, one attendee tonight has asked, are you required to complete it in 2 years? We have designed it as a 2-year program, but on a case-by-case basis, students have taken terms off or students have lightened their credit load. We offer 5 credits, 2 courses per term for a total of 15 credits over a 3-term year. So total of 6 terms for 30 credits. We currently do not permit students to do it in less time unless you are awarded transfer credits from a graduate school. So it's on a case-by-case basis. And these kinds of personal questions, specific and unique questions, certainly happy to answer if you'd like to schedule a meeting at any time. And it looks like, yes, again, a follow-up. Students who reside in Canada or even internationally are able to attend this program. We do have Canadian citizens and people who reside in Canada currently enrolled in our program. So the next step, just apply. There's no fee, there's no application fee, and it's an opportunity for you. You'd get at least within, normally the turnaround time for a response from the admissions committee is 2 weeks. You do not have to have your official transcripts submitted with your application. We will review it. You just have to have official transcripts in before you enroll. But it doesn't hurt. An offer gives you something to think about and reflect on. But the sooner you apply, the sooner you could start to plan your next steps and and climb that ladder that Cynthia told you about. But happy to talk to you about your academic goals. Our financial services team is more than willing to set up chats and interviews either before or after you apply. And we will respond promptly to your inquiries and application. If anytime we fall short of that, I'll own it and I'll make it right. I think Cynthia knows that I'm pretty quick to respond, whether there's a glitch in a grade book or there's some technical issues. And I also am available on weekends to make sure that Cynthia and all of her colleagues are having a stellar experience. And I'll do that for each and every one of you.
And I can attest to that. You do answer my email on the weekends.
So the upcoming deadline to apply is November 30th. May seem like it's not too far away, but it's better to apply early and know and take the time to decide. You can sit and again, engage in your due diligence, talk to your friends, talk to family members, talk to coworkers, talk to your supervisor. Let people know what you're thinking about. And the more people you have on your team to support you when those weekend study habits come in, or you can't work late for a boss because you have a project due, they'll know why. They'll know that you are doing this both to add value to the company and to help your family or all the people that matter to you. And the person who matters to you the most probably should be yourself. And I think Cynthia is a great example of fulfilling a passion and being fully satisfied. Sometimes we fall short in our service, but I think in the long run, Cynthia, you are, it's you, as you said, you get out of it what you put into it.
Exactly. And so the other piece of advice I would give everyone out there is, even if you don't think you have all the skills, apply for that dream job. You might get it. You might be surprised, like I was. And if you have this program under your belt or working with it, it's just going to give you more street cred.
And don't be afraid to talk to your employers. A lot of employers have tuition reimbursement programs, or at least will maybe help you with some flexible scheduling, because you will be adding value immediately in your work, hopefully. And it's just I know my mother was born abroad. I'm a first generation American, first generation college, and she suffered through World War II. But she's always said to me that what you put here, no one can ever take away from you. And I remember that when I was a starving law student living on hamburger helper without the hamburger, and that resonates with me today. So
Absolutely.
that's my parting thought. Anything else you'd like to add, Cynthia?
So just go for it. You won't regret it. Absolutely won't. I have not regretted 1 minute.
And Cynthia, you're getting a lot of thanks from the attendees for sharing your personal story. They are thanking you, and I thank you. And again, this is just the contact page if you would like to reach me. And I know in the past, Cynthia, but as well as other students who may come from a similar career path, a similar geographic region, they're more than happy to talk to a student and share some personal information just because they love the program. It's not required. It's just out of a love of what I think Cynthia said, I want to pay it forward. And that's the kind of people we want to attract to this program. Not just we're a boutique program, small service, a beautiful campus, and you would be part of that campus. And you are part of our community, and you would have a degree from a law school, and you would always be a proud and supported member of the Seattle University community.
Yes.
And Cynthia, I am so proud that you're a member of the community, and I consider you a colleague, and I thank you so much for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you. And you can reach out and talk to us anytime. Any of my cohorts would be willing to talk to anyone to give them some more information if needed.
Thank you. And everyone who attended tonight, I know it's cutting into your evenings, no matter where you are. And I thank you. And please, if there's a question I did not answer or one you didn't want to share with the group, please contact me. And I want to help you determine if this is the right program for you and if this is the right time for you. it was for Cynthia, and I hope you can say the same. And I hope one of you tonight will be sharing your experiences a year from now too. So on
Awesome.
that, I'm going to end recording and I'm going to stop the meeting. Thank you again for your attendance, and thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.